or false? On a per homes passed basis, upgrading to a gigahertz is at least an order of magnitude less expensive than it was the last time you upgraded from 550 to 750. In other words, where it's $40 per home pass today-ish versus $400 per home pass the last time.
How about almost true? Upgrades of the past or rebuilds in the past were very expensive and very close to the number that you just stated, $400 per homes passed or so. I can tell you that as we've gone through the Eon upgrades, we haven't quite gotten to the $40 per home passed range. Therefore, we haven't quite gotten an order of magnitude cheaper. But it's well below $100 and somewhere in your ballpark, let's put it that way.
So you're built out to a gigahertz in many places, or will be built out, and you're switching in some places. Do you have enough, or do you someday also go to all digital?
Well, there are actually a couple of questions in there when you think about it. We have gone to a gigahertz or will go to a gigahertz in about 80% of our homes passed. The other 20% will remain at 860. And I believe, the beauty and the power of EON or HFC, the EON for us is the extendable optical network, which is an extendable HFC migration where we're driving fiber deeper and increasing the bandwidth to 1 gigahertz. That is going to put us in great stead for many, many years to come. I don't see us going beyond 1 gigahertz. However, I could see the day, for example, we've been plotting our strategy, our bandwidth strategy out through 2018. And HFC provides beautiful capacity out to 2018. But if you start thinking about the types of services that you're going to have on the plant in that time frame, well over 300 channels of HD maybe, well over 300 channels of SD maybe. You've got multiple gained channels of DOCSIS during that time frame. You think that you've got maybe 90% of all VOD streams will be HD. That drives tons and tons of bandwidth. So I can envision the day when, while the bandwidth that we've got in place with EON is sufficient, we may also need to look at other tools. And I think what you'll see is that we will have switched digital video in our 1 gig markets as well as our 860 markets. And I think you'll also see that at some point in the not too distant future, certainly before 2018, you could see us go all digital with no analog programming whatsoever.
What would you recommend in terms of best practices or rules of thumb for any other operators who are considering upgrading to a gigahertz?
Well, one thing that I'd recommend is consider your customers as you're going through the upgrade. I mentioned earlier that one of the things that we've tried to do is go through our upgrade almost exclusively in the maintenance window. We have a very strong philosophy here at Cox around network reliability. We call it the NINES program. And that is all around keeping the network available as we can make it through reliability practices and just maintenance practices that don't take the network down. Or if we do have to take the network down, we do it in the middle of the night when we hope people aren't necessarily watching television or using their telephone. I think that's one thing that we all have to understand and remember, and that's the fact that I guess everybody out there, all the MSOs out there now are offering telephone services. We didn't have that in the past. High-speed data services are now not just getting to be some commodity, they're becoming a necessity. You just can't take those down during the day, and there's only a very small period of time in the middle of the night that you should take them down. So that, first and foremost, I would say it's keeping an eye on your customer, letting the customer know what's going on, helping them to understand why you're doing what you're doing, putting hangers on the doors, letting them know that in the middle of the night they're likely to see their services go down for some period of time as we go through the upgrade.